This is Dennis Sietsma, Dennis John Sietsma Productions, Homestead, Florida, USA. Homestead, Florida is south of Miami, north of Key Largo. A little bit. I love Key Largo and the Florida Keys. Today is September 19th, 2023. It's a Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. It's about noon, 12:58 or 11:58 a.m. Eastern Time. About 90 degrees outside right now. The video log for today, this is not a how-to, this is how Dennis did it. And do-it-yourself work can cause death or injury if not done safely, so do it at your own risk. I always recommend people get estimates from local shops. I do-it-yourself work as an aficionado, as a do-it-yourself person, to save time and money. And sadly, we have a lack of skilled people in the United States of America today. And I don't want to get into a rant on U.S. policy of immigration, except to say that this country is very generous. But we bring in a lot of people from other countries. But open borders is no good because the criminals come in and unvetted people come in, or people that want services they can't get in their countries come to the U.S. But vetted people, ones with skills and wanted, are badly needed here, because that's how my family back in the day, it's noon now, they were brought to this country because they were skilled people in Europe, skilled artisans that mainly were cabinet makers, woodworkers, fine furniture, brought to Chicago because George Pullman was building railroad cars, and wealthy people traveled by rail in those days. That rail and ship were luxurious travel modes, so they needed well-appointed cars. And my ancestors were, I think they were onion farmers, but at least one of them was highly skilled, because I have a hand-me-down beautiful cherry wood rocking chair that's too fragile now and too small for an adult to sit in, because people have gotten bigger as they're well nourished in the United States. But people from around the world with skills are badly needed. Trying to find a guy to work on small engines is hard these days. Small engine shops have evaporated, and you know, everybody wants to sell you a new thing. And out of love for humanity, I do these videos to try to help encourage people for do-it-yourself and to acquire skills, learn to weld. I know how to weld. I took a course at night. I took woodworking classes at night, cabinet making. I had a relative that taught me, my father-in-law taught me cabinet making. Anyway, people with skills are badly needed, and this video is about my 2003, year 2003, I bought this GT5000 Craftsman tractor. It has a Kohler Command engine. It has a CV, what is it? I said it on the other videos, now I'm having a blank. 0017. Oh, Charlie Victor 730. Charlie Victor 730-0017 version of the engine. They made a lot of these engines, 25 horsepower, beautiful engines, very powerful, still in demand today when in good condition, or even in parts. Easily rebuildable. Anyway, this one caught fire. Not once but several times. It pops the lower seal. It's a vertical shaft engine, and the lower seal comes out and the oil goes everywhere, and if it hits the muffler you got a fire. And in this case it wasn't that. I thought it was that, but I was wrong. The seal is still holding oil. I put some oil in it yesterday and it's holding oil nicely. And Today I'm going to take off the carburetor and the governor and rebuild it. The governor's damaged and I didn't have the parts at the time, so I put it back together hoping it would work. It doesn't work well. I had this running for just a moment yesterday, and the day before I put a new battery in it, and the old cables were damaged, so I fabricated new ones myself. I went to West Marine and I got some marine grade cable. I think it's 1 gauge or 4 gauge wire, marine quality, made by Anchor Marine or Pacer Group online. Pacer Group makes some amazing stuff. They have a store here in Fort Lauderdale, and I've been there, and they encourage people to walk in, but a lot of people don't know they're there. But I've been to their store and bought online from them. Pacer Group makes marine grade stuff. It's good, and all kinds of other crimp-on connectors and terminals and just about everything to do an electrical system. I fabricated a new wiring harness for this, but it has some mistakes in it and I have to rewire it. And I'm going to move a little closer here, excuse the walking camera, because I need to explain one of my problems, and maybe somebody in the audience can help me with this Kohler Command engine. I have a connector that I need to get, and this is the connector for the clutch. Let's make sure it's on the monitor. I need that connector for the clutch switch, and I've got it just terminals on it now. And anyway, I'm going to ferret out the problem with the wiring, but today I'm going to pull the carburetor and I've got the old carburetor. I'm going to clean it up and rebuild it, and that's what I'm going to do today, unless it rains. And if it rains, I'm going to run errands in Homestead and Florida City. I got a whole grocery list, and I've ordered everything online, so it's waiting for me to pick it up. I just got to go by. I do a lot of research at night on my computer, and I order parts online. But I fabricated the positive and negative, the red and the black big cables, and man, I had a hell of a time figuring out the terminals here on this. I think it's like an M6 half inch or M6 3/4 inch long flanged head bolt would be nice, but I got it in SAE right now. I think it's a 1/4. And if I ever edit this video, I'll put the specs and my research at the end of the video, so stay tuned. But that's what I plan to do today if it don't rain. And it's now 12:06, so that's what I plan to do. And if you learned anything on this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you can subscribe if you like. I'm not really into subscriptions because I'm nowhere near where I need to be, but I need to research this. I'd like to improve this when I find this connector. For now, I'll get it working, and then I'll add the connector later. And then when I get this really good, I'll sell it online. But I need a hood, a GT5000 hood. That one's pretty well smoked up, and the chances of fixing it are almost nil. What goes wrong with the hood is the plastic parts, and boy, they want a lot of money for the plastic parts, so you know, I may have to do that. I don't know yet, but mechanically this was in pretty good shape. It was cutting grass just fine, and it had some problems, but I'll get those sorted before I sell it. But I'm looking to buy a new one, and I can't find a 25 horsepower tractor to replace it. They're all sold out. The gasoline powered Husqvarna, or you know, I'm going to get it with the Kohler Command engine. The new series is Series 7000 for Kohler, and the Kohler, it's a little lumpy compared to the Kawasaki engine. The idle is super smooth on the Kawasaki engine, and the Kohler Command, or Kohler 7000, 7000's a new series, has the power, but it's a little little bumpy on the idle compared to the Kawasaki. Now, as far as reliability, I don't know, but Terrell fixes all. Hi Terrell, I'm a fan. Fan. I love your skits. They're so funny. Oh, Terrell, how do you think of these things? Do a video on how you develop your skits. They're so funny. Anyway, Terrell says Kawasaki's no more reliable than the Kohler, and so I'm sticking with Kohler. And Briggs & Stratton, I don't know. I went by the Briggs & Stratton World Headquarters in Statesville, Georgia, to talk to him one day, and I found a locked door at a little tiny office in an industrial park. And I don't know how Briggs & Stratton does things these days. Maybe their engines are good, but I don't know. I just don't know. Have to talk to other people like Terrell fixes all if he likes the Briggs & Stratton. Terrell, I don't think, really cares who makes an engine. He just fixes them. He fixes everything. So, thanks for watching, audience. Audience. I love my subscribers, and I love anybody that watches to the bitter end my spiel. And I know my videos are not fancy, no music, no editing, just raw video. But give me some time. Maybe before God calls me home, I'll get better at it. Anyway, I hope you enjoy watching, and thank you for watching. This is Dennis Sietsma, Dennis John Sietsma Productions, Homestead, Florida, USA.